Welcome. You are joining us at the session called A Relational Path, Learning to Live with the Land, with an author read aloud with Emma and Natalie and artist Natalie Laurin. And we're so excited that you're joining us for Take Me Outside Day this year. Take Me Outside Day has really stretched into a whole week of virtual activities. So we're really excited to have you participating. And we'd love to know where you're joining us from today. Please let us know where you're coming from. And if you also want to let us know if you are from a school, the name of your school, or an organization that you're from, or your community, we would love to learn about that as well. Great, I'm seeing some comments coming in. Okay, amazing. I think we'll get started, but please continue to share where you're coming from. So I'm Julie. I'm the program manager with Take Me Outside. I'm joining today from Dish with One Spoon, Wampum Belt Covenant, and Between the Lakes Treaty 3 land, the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, and land which has been stewarded by and continues to be stewarded by the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe. And Rachel from Take Me Outside is also joining us today. Here's Rachel now. Excuse me. She's just going to be behind the scenes offering tech support and helping out in the comments. So if you have any questions or comments, you can talk to Rachel over there in the comment section. Thanks so much, Rachel. And we want to start off today with an acknowledgement that we are here. Take Me Outside would like to acknowledge and celebrate the diverse environments and people across Turtle Island whose lands are the places, spaces, and teachers for our work. The speakers and presenters this week come from a wide range of nations and places across Turtle Island. We want to begin by acknowledging that outdoor learning recognizes humans as an interconnected part of the natural world, as part of relationships that have been stewarded since time immemorial by First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and Indigenous peoples who have lived here before colonialism and continue to live and thrive here despite it. We begin with gratitude and utmost respect for the land and all our relations on, above, and within her. We offer our gratitude and respect to the many Inuit, First Nations, Métis, and other Indigenous peoples who continue to protect and share their deep relational knowledge to facilitate ongoing relationships with her. Sharing your languages of relationship, reciprocity, respect, and responsibility encourages the heart of outdoor learning. We also acknowledge that the work of truth and reconciliation is a lifelong journey, and we commit to supporting educators in rising to the truth and reconciliation's calls to action or calls to justice, specifically the numbers relating or the calls to action relating to education, so 6, 12, and 62 to 66. And I would like to invite us as we explore outdoor learning this week to really invite you to all take the time to learn about and recognize whose traditional land or territory you reside on, where you play and you explore. You can use the nativeland.ca resource. It's an Indigenous-led resource and collective that is a really great starting place for that work. And I also want to share this quote. Tim Patterson, an Indigenous mentor and hiking guide from the Little Nicola Band, says, it's not just about acknowledging the land or the people of a particular land, but asking what this knowledge and feeling compels you to do. So throughout this week, we hope the sessions and speakers inspire educators and learners from all walks of life to head outside and connect to the land. We hope you can experience the way the land can love, nurture, and heal. So thank you, everybody, again, for being here today. And now I would love to thank you, our partner for this session, Strong Nations Publishing. We have Topher and Sam joining us today, so I will pass things over to you. Introduce yourself.
Hello. Thank you, Rachel, Julie, and Take Me Outside for welcoming us today. My name is Topher, and my traditional name is Siba Kola. I am the publishing manager at Strong Nations Publishing, and I am joined by Sam Bollinger, who is an editor and the project lead on Emma and Natalie's Decodable Series. Strong Nations is an Indigenous-owned and operated publishing house, as well as online bookstore based out of Vancouver Island. We are joining you today from the unceded traditional territory of the Sinnamnamic First Nations people. Strong Nations is coming up on our 15-year anniversary being in business in 2025. We've been fortunate to work with incredibly talented Indigenous authors and illustrators from across Canada, including the two presenting today.
We're excited to introduce Emma and Natalie Laurin and their upcoming Cedar School Decodable Series, which is 20 books. The series has been developed with the generous support of Dyslexia Canada to align with the scope and sequence of the UFly. We're developing a teacher's guide and 4 storybooks that will accompany the decodable books as well. And for more information, please feel encouraged to email us at contact@strongnations.com. We'll pass it back to Rachel now before we introduce Emma and Natalie.
Hi, everybody. So if we can bring Rachel onto the screen, actually, along with Natalie and Emma. Before we get started, we just want to, and we'll properly introduce you in a moment, but before we get started, I just want to share our deep, deep gratitude that you're all with us here today and offer all of you tobacco in our gratitude. Rachel has the tobacco ties with her, so she'll be mailing them out after today's session, but we just want to share our deep gratitude for you sharing your incredible knowledge and experience with us today. Thanks so much. And I'll pass things back over to the Strong Nations folks to introduce our presenters today.
Great, thank you. So Emma Metallic is Mi'kmaq writer from the Litsugug Mi'kmaq First Nations. I apologize, I'm probably going to butcher and mispronounce some of these, but Emma and Natalie can also share after. So Emma's located in Quebec. She holds a Bachelor of Arts from the University of King's College, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Emma is the author of the children's story Nibuktuk, published by Kegadons Press. Inspired by her territory in the Mi'kmaq language, Emma enjoys writing short stories that reflect her community's knowledge, needs, and desires. Natalie Laurin, she, her, is Métis and settler, illustrator, and interdisciplinary designer with family roots in the Georgian Bay Métis community. Natalie holds a Bachelor of Design from Niskad University, where she majored in interdisciplinary design and minored in illustration. A central goal of her work is to create with a respectful, informed, and collaborative approach, especially when designing for communities other than her own. By using her talents to illustrate books for Indigenous children, she hopes to inspire youth to engage in our collective revitalization journey through themes of community and relation building.
All right, so I guess we'll start. My name is Emma Metallic de Louisi, Dlewi Akwigi Listuguch Gisbigawagi. So I'm Mi'kmaq from the Listuguch Mi'kmaq First Nation. The name of our traditional territory is called Mi'kma'ki, and it has 7 districts, and I live in the 7th district called Gisbigawagi, which means the last land.
Thanks for that intro, Topher. Hi, I'm Natalie. Like Topher said, I'm Métis and settler and family roots in the Georgian Bay Métis community. I currently live and work in Jibuktuk, which is the Mi'kmaq word for Halifax, meaning the Great Harbor. We're really excited to share with you today. And just to get started, I can't see anybody, but I'm still excited. Just get started and begin. I'm going to lead you through a short grounding activity. So everyone, I just want you to get comfy in your seat. Don't stand up. We're just going to stay seated. Maybe stretch your legs out in front of you, wiggle your toes around. Maybe you want to stretch your arms all the way up to the sky. Get comfy. Then we're just going to take a few deep breaths. So we're going to breathe in. We're going to breathe out. And on the next breath, you can close your eyes if you're comfortable. So I want you to picture your favorite season. Maybe it's fall, like it is here right now in Halifax, and the air is kind of crisp, the leaves are crunchy, and they're turning all these beautiful colors, orange and red. Or maybe your favorite season is summer, and you like being outside, and you can feel the sun's warm rays shining on your face. Imagine yourself playing or doing your favorite activity outside during this season. Maybe you're swimming at the beach and you're letting the cool waves of the lake wash over you and through your hair, and you're pretending to be a fish or a mermaid. And as you keep breathing in and out, pay attention to what you see, what you're imagining, what you hear and what you're imagining, what you feel. Maybe you're imagining you're at the beach and you can smell somebody's grilling hot dogs, or you can smell the sunscreen on your back. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, just coming back to us. And I know not everybody has pencil, paper nearby, but if you do, we're just going to invite you to maybe do a little doodle, maybe just write down what you noticed, what you thought, or maybe just having a thought, thinking, what came to mind during this little exercise? Hopefully you enjoyed it. Maybe you want to draw yourself in the place you imagined yourself in your favorite place, your favorite activity outdoors. So thank you everyone for participating. I wish I could see people, but we're just gonna circle back to this later and you'll have a chance to share with us maybe what you drew. I'll hand it over to you, Emma.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Natalie, for guiding us through that grounding activity. It was really nice for me, I personally thought about all the times I go snowshoeing outside, and I just felt like you were even bringing me right back into like swimming in the lake or something. And yeah. So yeah, thinking about that connection to the land we just experienced, I'd like to now shift our attention and dive into the project that Natalie and I have been working on with Strong Nations. So we wanted to start with this small activity because the project that Natalie and I are working on is based on the outdoors and getting to know your territory. When Strong Nations approached me for this project, they were interested and they wanted to know if I could include my Mi'kmaq perspective on ways of being into this project. And in thinking about how I was going to do this, so I pulled from my own experience of working as an education assistant in my home community. With that position, I got the chance to actually participate in outdoor education programs we have all year round. We explored and learned from the land. And one of my favorite things was like when we actually got to harvest maple syrup right in the mountains that we have in our backyards. So we're able to tap those trees, and then we even got to taste like the sugary water before we made it into maple syrup. So after an afternoon of hiking trails for maple syrup, the best part was sliding down with buckets of sap in our sled. And even if that meant like we lost some of the sap, it was still okay because we laughed about it and we all had a fun time. And that's really what that whole program is really about. It's just about learning from the land, making those connections, memories, and seeing how you fit in that web of relations. So as I was thinking about how I wanted to structure these stories, I thought, why not just base these decodables like on the outdoors? So in our outdoor education programs, like in my community, students are building connections and creating memories with the land. So in this way, students are introducing themselves to the land, and the land is getting to know them as well. As Mi'kmaq, we learn to live with the seasons, the land and the stars as our guide. So much of our culture and practices come from the land, and we even see that in our languages. Our language, in the Mi'kmaq language, it's so descriptive and like it reflects the patterns and movements of our territory. Building connections with the land is so important because it grounds and shapes how you see yourself with the world. So for me, like when I was learning my language, going out on the land really helped me to be able to practice speaking. It came more fluid. I was able to attach memories of like what I was learning in class with what I actually saw outside. For me, like when I think about kaskusi, which means cedar, I think about snowshoeing in the forest and harvesting cedar branches to make tea. So thinking about that connection, I just want to take a pause and then check in with all of you. Natalie?
Yeah, so now we're just going to open up the comments section for people. If you wanted to share what came up for you in that short little grounding exercise we did earlier, what sort of feelings came up. I want to know if people got to draw anything. What did you draw, or what did you imagine? Can you go
Hi,
next?
I'm popping back in so I can let you know any comments that have come up.
Okay.
But we would love to hear from you, everybody.
Can we
I'll let
go
you
to
know
the
that
next slide?
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Perfect. I'll share first. I didn't
yeah.
just draw this, but this is a scene from Decodable 3. It's one of the sketches where Tom and Elder Jen go fishing at Log Pond. And I really liked working on this book because I have some really fun memories of when I was a kid. My first grade teacher has this big pond, and we would all go there and hang out, and we like to catch bluegill in the pond.
Okay. Oh, there's one that we've highlighted. So a comment that came in. Thanks so much for sharing that, by the way. That is a beautiful drawing. Katrina Peak says, we talked about the tree that was behind the girl in the picture and what color colors the leaves would be.
Cool.
Oh. A few people in the comments are sharing that they felt very relaxed during that. And Mary Alice Hansen says, William thought about swimming in his favorite season.
Cool. That's awesome, William.
Cheryl Pillen shares season of winter throwing snowballs.
Oh,
That's so fun.
Oh, Aaron Deacon was looking for bugs.
Ooh.
Playing soccer, baseball. Oh yeah, outdoor sports are a big thing in the summer.
In the summer. Tiffany Pierce rings a singing bowl outside and has students close their eyes and ground themselves, focusing on their 5 senses, and then we share.
Cool.
Yeah, the sound of a singing bowl is really beautiful, isn't it? Aaron Deacon likes playing in the park, and maybe we'll do one more. So Carolyn Ramy, I hope I'm pronouncing that okay. Diana thought about sledding in the winter, and Misha thought about playing in a sprinkler during spring. So all seasons were really represented.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Thanks for sharing, everyone.
Yeah. So now I guess we'll get into, so this is going to be a very exclusive sneak peek of one of the trade books that I'll be reading, and I'm so excited to share with you. Now, yeah, so the trade book essentially is like a longer story, but it does capture the decodables 1 through 5. So when you get cozy, we do it.
Story time.
Sneak peek. So Tom woke up to a knock on his bedroom door. "It's time to get ready," his grandma called. "Today is your first day at Cedar School." Tom rolled out of bed, feeling both excited and nervous. He was looking forward to seeing his friend Liv, but he was worried about meeting his teachers and the other students. What if he didn't fit in? He put on his favorite shorts and a bright orange shirt, and then Grandma helped him with his hair. She brushed out the tangles and pulled it into a braid. Tom smiled up at his grandma. He loved it when she braided his hair. He felt proud to wear his hair in a braid, just like his grandpa. After a quick breakfast of Grandma's special pancakes, they put on jackets and the shoes, and they waited outside for the school bus. When the bus dropped Tom and the other kids off at school, their teacher was waiting for them. She led them into the school. It felt like a warm winter cabin. Small lamps glowed around the room. A big staircase led up to the library. A woman was waiting for them by the colorful carpet. They gathered around and the teacher said, "Hi everyone, my name is Miss Sam, and this is Elder Jen. She will be here throughout the school year to share her wisdom and knowledge with us." "Welcome to Cedar School," Jen said. She waved at the kids and they all waved back. "Now," Miss Sam said, "Cedar School is very special because we learn about outdoor education. Does anyone know what that means?" Liv's hand shot into the air. "It means we learn from the land." "That's right," Miss Sam said. Not only are we going to learn about math, science, and art outside, but we're also going to learn how to live with the land, how to respect and take care of it. The seasons will guide us. Wow, Tom thought. That sounds amazing. Before we get started, Miss Sam said, I'd like everyone to introduce themselves. I'll go first. A kid in a bright red cape yelled excitedly. My name is Gus, and I love being a superhero. I like going for adventures in the forest. That's great, Gus, Miss Sam said. At this school, we go for adventures outside every day. Then it was Liv's turn. I love to paint, especially on rocks that you can find on the beach. A girl in a purple shirt went next. My name is Belle. I love to sing. I sing to my mom, my dog, the plants, and the rivers. Anyone who wants to listen. Finally, it was Tom's turn. Butterflies filled his stomach. He opened his mouth to speak, but he was so nervous that no words came out. Liv came to his rescue. This is Tom. He's shy when he meets new people, but he's a great friend when you get to know him. Tom smiled at her gratefully. Today we're going to start by smudging. Miss Sam walked over to her desk and picked up a small blue shell. She placed dried herbs inside and walked back to the carpet. Has anyone heard of smudging before? Tom had learned about smudging from his grandma, but he was too shy to raise his hand. Have you ever felt like you were having a bad day, Miss Sam asked, or felt so proud because you did something you were scared to do? Smudging is a way to help talk about these big emotions. It helps us to think good thoughts and have good feelings. Miss Sam lit the medicines inside the shell. A cloud of smoke rose from the bowl, and Tom smelled the cedar, sage, tobacco, and sweetgrass. To smudge, place your hands forward and fan the medicines towards your ears, eyes, mind, and heart. Miss Sam demonstrated, and then each of the kids took their turn smudging. The butterflies in Tom's stomach went away as the smoke cleansed him. He finally felt ready to introduce himself. Hi, everyone, he said. My name is Tom, and I love to dance at our Mawiomi. This summer, my grandma and I finished making my regalia. Miss Sam smiled at him. That sounds amazing, Tom. Thank you for sharing. Now it's time to explore our territory, Miss Sam announced. She and Jen led the children out the door and around the schoolyard. Their first stop was the fort, where the children could play hide and seek. There was even a tire swing. Then they walked to Log Pond, where ducks splashed in the clear water. This looked like a fun place to go fishing. Finally, Jen showed the children Cub Path, her favorite trail through the forest. As the group walked along the path, Jen shared the kids' first lesson. Today you're going to learn how to use your hidden superpowers. Gus listened closely, his cape flowing in the light breeze. By using our powers of observation, we're going to find animal tracks, Jen announced. Tom and Liv grinned at each other. They knew this would be a fun adventure. Look out for indents in the mud. There will be a pattern which will tell us where the animal might have gone, Jen told the kids. There are lots of animals in this forest, like rabbits, foxes, deer, and moose. Jen stopped near a puddle. She crouched down. Kids, look over here. The children raced over to her to see what she was looking at. It was a trail of prints in the mud. Each one had a center circle and 4 smaller circles around it. It looks like my dog's paw print, Liv said. Good eye. Good eye, Liv, but I think it's too small to be a dog. This track belongs to a fox. Do you think we'll see the fox? Belle asked. I don't think so, Jen said. See, the tracks lead into the forest. The fox is probably off on a new adventure. On their way back to school, the class came across a large mud puddle. Let's find a way around it, Miss Sam suggested. But Gus had another idea. We can jump across. Before the teacher could say anything, Gus bravely leapt, but the puddle was too big, and he landed right in the middle of it. It was deeper than he thought it would be. When he tried to climb out, he didn't move. He was stuck in the mud. Help! The class gathered around. Jen held out her arms so that Gus could balance himself. Maybe you could pull your foot out, Belle suggested. Gus tried, but it was no use. His eyes started to water. Hey, it's okay, Miss Sam said. Scary things happen, but you are so brave. All you have to do is dance. Dance? Gus asked, confused. That's right. It will help you shake your boot out of the mud. Miss Sam demonstrated, wiggling her legs. The other kids joined in, dancing and laughing as they encouraged Gus. He danced around, and suddenly his boot popped free. He climbed out of the puddle with a smile on his face. All right, Miss Sam said. I think that's enough adventure for today. Back at the school, the kids sat down at the table while Jen and Miss Sam prepared a snack. As the kids ate, Miss Sam took out her drum. Belle hummed along to her song. Tom felt his body relax with the gentle music. He recognized the beat of the Mi'kmaq honor song playing. Belle got up and joined Miss Sam. They sang softly the song together. At the end of the day, Tom didn't want to leave, but he was looking forward to telling Grandma everything he had learned. I hope everyone had a great day today. Make sure you have plenty of rest, because tomorrow we'll continue to learn about our territory, Miss Sam said. The kids grabbed their coats and went outside. The school bus was waiting there to take them home. Grandma was waiting for Tom when the bus dropped him off at their house. Tom waved goodbye to the bus driver. Thank you. See you tomorrow, he called. Tom and his grandma sat on their front porch as he told her about his day. We found fox tracks, and then Gus got stuck in a big puddle. Wow, it sounds like you had fun. I did. Grandma looked out into the woods around the house. I want you to remember this feeling, Tom. Living off the land has always been our way of life. There's so much to learn from it, and there's so much to give back. Together they listened quietly to the autumn breeze. A small fox peeked out from behind a tree. It looked around and then walked back into the woods. Tom smiled, wondering if it was their same friend from earlier that day. So that was the exclusive, very, very early sneak peek of the first trade book.
Yay! Thank you, Emma. I love that story so much. We have a second story for you if people want another story. This one is Decodable 1. So this is part of the first set of books, and each one is helping kids learn how to read. So each one goes through different sounds. And this one is going to be the Advanced Short A review. And this is the book that Emma created based on her fun experience that she mentioned earlier with the Listuguj outdoor education class, where they harvested maple sap to make maple syrup. So she based this book on her experience, which was really cool. So in this story, the kids learn how to collect the maple sap from the trees. And when you heat sap, it turns into maple syrup. And it's harvested in the spring. When the weather warms up, the sap begins to flow in the trees. Mi'kmaq use it to sweeten their foods and as medicine. And it was an important part of trade, too. So I'm going to get right into it. This is a short one. Tom ran on the land. I am fast. Sam and Liv scan. Sam can tap it. Liv is glad. This is sap. Tom and Liv gasp. Clap, clap, clap. Tom can grab the sap. The sap is in the pan. Then they all get to taste the maple syrup. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, so that was what we have to present for you all, and thank you for listening. And I believe now we might jump into a question period.
Yes,
Yeah.
for Sure. Well, thank you so much for reading those two stories and showing the beautiful illustrations. My personal highlights, well, I loved learning more about smudging. The mud dancing was amazing after Gus got stuck in the mud. And then maple syrup is my favorite. So learning anything, learning more about maple syrup harvesting and even just thinking about delicious maple syrup made me so happy. So we would love to open it up to all of you watching, and you could share what your highlights were, what your favorite parts of the stories were. Also, if you have any questions for Emma and Natalie, we would love to know. So your teachers can share that in the chat for you, and we'll just wait maybe a few moments while those come in. But I was wondering, I have a question actually. Natalie, I'm wondering what medium you use or what materials you use to do your illustrations. How do you make them?
All of these are actually digital illustrations, which means I drew them on my iPad. It's an app. It's an app called Procreate, and there's all sorts of different brushes and pens on there that create different textures. And I just play around with it, and they're all digital.
That's so cool. They're so beautiful, and there's so much detail. Okay, let's see. I think we have some highlights coming in. So Reagan really liked when he got stuck in the puddle. Yeah, I love that part too. It was very funny.
Poor
and
Gus.
I love that they had to dance the mud off.
Yeah.
That's the best way to get mud off for sure and get out of the mud.
I know, it was really funny one time. So when I was with my class, when we were outside, we had a little competition about who could jump over the the biggest mud puddle. And it was really fun. And we just did not care about getting dirty. It was just all fun and games.
Oh, yes. Getting dirty is so much fun. That sounds like a really fun contest. Okay, another highlight. Sarah Noakes' class said, we loved hearing the first book. Our class wanted to follow the fox just to make sure those were the paw prints. Oh, yes. That was such a great part too, the tracking. So
I don't know how big your screen is that you're viewing it on, but in this picture that's on the screen, you can actually see the fox a little bit. Can you guys see him?
Oh, in this picture. Oh, oh, can anyone spot the fox? That's a great tip, Natalie.
Little Easter egg moment.
And Stephanie Takahashi, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. The detail in the illustrations really draw you into the spaces and help us feel connected to the land. Oh, that's another highlight.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And okay, Katrina Peaks learners are saying, we liked when the children got to eat the syrup.
Yes. That's hard.
I was also thinking about it. Loving that part. Oh, this was a great part too. Melissa Shear's class said we enjoyed the part where they pretended to be a superhero. Ms. Shear's class. Oh, and I think we have a few questions coming in. Thank you so much for sharing your highlights and your favorite parts. Sarah Noakes, in Sarah Noakes' class, Elliot would like to know how long it took to write the book. That's a very good question.
Well, I first got onto this project like about a year ago, and we are still going through edits, and it's a long, lengthy process. So it takes a whole team really to create all of these. So yeah.
You could even say that it took her whole life because she's basing it on her life experiences.
Oh, that's so true. You share so much of yourself in it, Emma?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Oh, and Melissa Shear's class, the learners are wondering, how long did it take to create the digital illustrations? So that's for you, Natalie.
Well, I can talk a little bit about the process. So when I shared my drawing after we did our grounding activity of the two people sitting on the dock, that's what all these drawings begin with. So they begin as a quick quick rough sketch, and then I go back to Sam and Topher, and then they give me advice and suggestions and edits to do, and then I change certain things, and then I do another drawing that's more straighter lines, cleaner lines. I erase some stuff that's not supposed to be there, and then I go back to the team at Strong Nations again, and they tell me if that's good, if I need to change anything, and then once I get the okay on that, then I can go and add all the colors. So it's there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of teamwork going on. So you can imagine how long that takes. It takes a while. For color, each one probably takes like a minimum of 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours, I would say. It depends on, some illustrations have every single character, every single kid that's in the class in the drawing, and then another illustration might just be like a close-up of an apple shining on a tree. So that would take me a little bit less time than a scene with all the kids together.
Yes. Not as much detail, or a different kind of detail, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for sharing. Sarah Noak's class gives the book a big thumbs up. Awesome. And how did you get so good at writing? Emma, tell us more about your writing experience. I think we'd like to know.
It's just lots of practice. But also like a lot of collaboration with Sam as well and the team at Strong Nations, because as you can see, this is a very large project, and my ideas were like so big for it, and like they really helped to like narrow it down, and then also to really keep our key audience and target in mind as well. So yeah, I think just like working collaboratively with people and like allowing people to read your work, and that's what's really that really helps.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true to share your work with others and then what they say, and then be able to maybe even sprinkle that back in to what you're writing. Yeah. Okay, I love that. Maybe we have time for a couple more questions. David Townsend's learners are wondering, have you written other books or illustrated other books?
So I actually just recently wrote Nibukduk. So again, that story is actually written both in English and Mi'kmaq, and it's about a young girl who goes snowshoeing in the forest, and there she meets, animals and talking trees who guide her through nourishing and challenging motions of her language. And Natalie illustrated it too.
We'll have to share that one as well.
And I have another one I illustrated with Strong Nations. It's called Andy's Tribal Canoe Journey, and there are lots and lots of pictures in that one. It's a graphic novel.
Oh, awesome. I love graphic novels too. Very cool. Okay, maybe we'll take one more question. Some people have to get going, and so they're saying thank you so much. A few classes.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
One last question. How long Fidel Garcia's class, could we use the book as a model to make our own book? Oh.
That's
maybe
interesting.
Inspired by it?
Yeah,
I think every picture book you can be inspired by. I certainly like looking at how our other artists draw their images and do their illustrations, and what kind of color they use, what kind of textures they use. So yeah, inspiration is everywhere.
Even if you go outside this week, maybe you'll find a story somewhere out there.
Perfect. Yes. So in addition to being inspired by these amazing books and the stories and illustrations you've heard and seen today, I totally agree. Am I also going outside? You can be inspired by the land and how you feel about the land and what you see out there, and maybe what you hear and smell, and using all your senses and bringing that into your own storytelling. That's so exciting. Emma and Natalie, I want to thank you so much for sharing your beautiful work today, and for being here. And we really appreciate it. The Cedar School Decodable Series will be available on Strong Nations or via Strong Nations very soon. Rachel's going to share a link in the chat, so definitely keep your eyes out for that, and Natalie and Emma's other works as well. And we'd like to know, before we say goodbye, we would love to know, what is everyone's plan for going outside today? What are you going to do when you go outside? You could share that in the comments if you'd like. We'd love to hear it. Maybe it's even what we were just talking about. Maybe you'll get some ideas for stories or for art. That'd be really awesome if you go outside and do that. Also, I want to let you know about our next session. If we can load up that screen. Oh, thanks again to Strong Nations, Topher and Sam. Thank you so much. Also for educators, our next session will be today at 4 p.m. Pacific time or 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it's a professional learning workshop with natural curiosity. We really encourage you to come out to that. And our final note for today, our prize winners. So first of all, I want to thank all our partners who are offering amazing prizes, the Outdoor Learning School and Store, New Brunswick Environmental Network, and MEC. We will be choosing one random attendee who came here to receive a prize, but also Strong Nations very kindly donated a $100 gift card for one of the classes here today. You could use it towards buying the Cedar School Decodables maybe. But that winner who we randomly selected is Cass Rivers. Cass Rivers, we will send you an email after this session. We randomly selected you from your this attendance, but you and your learners get a $100 Strong Nations gift card. There's so many amazing resources and amazing books on there that you're going to love. So we hope you enjoyed that. Amazing. And don't forget to tag us on social media. We would love to see your photos as you take your learners outdoors and as you're all outside. And so if you tag us at Take Me Outside, then we also select a daily prize winner who shares what they've been doing with their class or with their group of learners outdoors. Oh, good. Cass Rivers says amazing. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, well, that's us, everybody. We're just wrapping up. Thanks again, Emma and Natalie. That was a fantastic virtual field trip, and we really, really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm excited to hear what you're going to do outside. Oh, Katrina Peak's class already played outside in the snow. You have snow. That's amazing. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. Thanks, Strong Nations.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.